If a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, does it actually make a sound? This is not a metaphor. We're going to actually answer this question because this is something that I wasn't talking about in one of my live streams, but I happened to throw it out there metaphorically. And then we started actually talking about it because I noticed that people in the conversation actually had differing opinions on this subject. So we're going to actually dive into this one on a logical level, on a geeky, nerdy level, and let's actually get an answer to this question. Does it actually make a sound? First of all, there are two different definitions of sound. This is one of the reasons why we're in an information war these days, because we can't even agree on facts or even what a word means. But let's get clear on what the meanings of this word sound. First of all, there is a physical / scientific definition of sound, which says vibrations that occur via an elastic medium, also known as air, that can be perceived by the human ear as sound. The key word is it can be, not that it must be perceived by the human ear in order to actually register. So by scientific definition, a sound occurs even if no one actually hears it. Now, there's also a perceptual definition of sound, which states sensations that are produced by vibrations that are heard by the human ear. In other words, if a sound happens, you hear it because the vibrations occur and you perceive it and you experience it through your ear. But the scientific definition says you don't have to experience it. No human has to experience the sound for the fact of a sound actually occurring in the first place. So the verdict is a question, is perception necessary for the truth to occur? And I would have to say the answer is no. Perception is not necessary for the truth to occur. In other words, just because no one was there to hear the sound does not mean the sound did not occur. Therefore, yes, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. The answer is yes, it does make a sound. Just because no one perceived a thing does not mean that that thing did not actually happen. So the existential life question has now officially been answered, that a tree falling in the forest absolutely makes a sound, even if you or I nor nobody else was there to perceive it. Now you know. Work on your game.